A Bastrop foster care and rehab facility plans to reopen after sex trafficking allegations put its operation on hold.
The Refuge is a long-term foster care rehab facility for sex-trafficked teens. The KVUE defenders went inside the facility to see how they operate and what the facility leaders are doing now to ensure safety. Here's investigative reporter Erica Proffer.
If the front porch is a transitional space between outside elements and the safety of home, then consider this whole area one 50-acre porch.
Yeah, it's a special place.
A porch Brooke Crowder built to help sex-trafficked girls transition to a productive, healthy life.
They each have their own horse.
She founded the Refuge for DMST, domestic minor sex trafficking.
One girl used to come and read to her horse.
Girls as young as 14.
What they learn to do is take care of the horses. That in and of itself is a life skill that they learn.
The ranch includes a church, charter school, and on-site medical care. Trauma therapy includes traditional techniques and holistic care like art and equine therapy.
This is a really critical part to the therapeutic process for the girls.
But not now. What Brooke started and built over the last 8 years, one incident nearly tore it down in a few days. This federal court filing shows sex trafficking allegations against the Refuge. It shows a former employee sold nude photos of 2 girls there for illegal drugs and alcohol. It shows the state suspects more employees were involved. The problem? Most of these allegations were not yet investigated, not verified.
We need to get to the bottom, and we need to see who needs to be held responsible.
The document set off a series of investigations into the Refuge. Texas Senate and House committees called for a special meeting. Governor Greg Abbott told the Texas Rangers to investigate. U.S. District Judge Janice Jack held an emergency hearing and told an outside organization to report back.
This time we anticipate that there will be prosecution. We would expect it to be sexual exploitation of a minor and also child pornography.
Department of Public Safety Director Steve McCraw said Rangers found one employee took nude photos of 2 girls. The employee was fired immediately. In a letter to Governor Abbott, McCraw wrote, "There is no evidence that any of the residents at the Refuge shelter have ever been sexually abused or trafficked while at the shelter." But the state had already pulled every girl out of the Refuge ranch.
They were making signs saying, "This is our family, don't take us, we're not a placement, trafficked lives matter."
Most of the girls were placed across the state. How this happened goes back more than a decade. Department of Family and Protective Services wrote the recent court filing. It's part of an ongoing civil rights lawsuit filed against the state in 2011. Judge Jack, in 2015, ruled Texas foster care operations violate the Constitution. She ordered monitors to keep track and report what the state does to improve.
The conflation of the allegations and the truth has painted a very tragic picture of who we really are.
The court monitor pointed fingers at both the Refuge and DFPS. Their report shows the Rangers didn't interview everyone before concluding. It calls the history of DFPS investigations into question, including how DFPS closed 3 cases, 2 neglectful supervision cases and a medical neglect case.
We must focus on the facts, the failures.
Lives are on the line.
Would it be safe to assume that's very likely that if one of these individuals or victims who, if they wanted to escape and they got out, that they will probably go back to the pervert who had been exploiting them in the first place?
Yeah, most often they do.
Yeah, I think,
Brooke doesn't know if the girls are still safe, but she knows 2 girls got exploited, and one of her former employees, someone who passed all state-mandated background checks.
the fear on the girls' faces as they got pulled out just
maybe a criminal,
is motivating me to make sure that never happens again.
Brooke faces her own transition. How to make the Refuge safer and more secure. So the Refuge will now use an outside agency to do a deeper look at all of the job candidates. It's an agency recommended by the governor and Attorney General's offices. No time set now for the reopening. For the KVUE Defenders, I'm Erica Proffer.